Good afternoon and welcome to Thursday's Market SITREP, coming to you from beautiful, I'm kidding, it's a little overcast and dreary here at JFK Airport in New York. Heading back from Vermont with my boy and be in Palm Beach here shortly. But folks, what an incredible week. Of course, anytime I'm on an airplane or out of South Florida, something massive happens. But this week is for the better. Check this out. On Tuesday, we actually did a joint primary live trade brief and weekly options brief. And look at the trade we placed on Monday. We looked at a bull put spread on volatility, thinking that volatility was either going to hover or at least pound higher. And check this out. We looked at the 29, 28.5 bull put spread, and that trade was risking about $5,600 to potentially make $4,400. You ready? And we got filled on this trade. Mid-market at 22 cents, right around there, 22 cents. Look at this trade right now. It's at about 2 or 3 cents. That's 200 contracts, folks. That is a $4,000 profit as we speak. Incredible. What's that, an 90% profit on this trade in 2.5 days. Take a look at the volatility index, folks. We talked about this in the brief on Tuesday. I said, man, this volatility could absolutely head higher. And look at this thing. We're up another 15% right now on the volatility index, man. We talked about this last week. Look at this. Last Thursday. You ready for this one? Last Thursday, in the Analyze Your Trade and Debrief, we looked at getting long SDS calls. Look at these. 30 of this Friday's 30.5 calls. Those calls are looking at a $3,100 profit. So there's $7,100 in profit on the market rolling over. And look at these VIX calls, man. These VIX calls, we looked at getting long 10 of the May 15, 13 calls at $2.15. Those calls are over $7.25 right now for a profit of $5,600. Unbelievable, folks. That's what, using my political science math, that's about $13,000 in profit on what? On this market imploding. On the president and the Chinese getting into a trade war here, folks. That's over $13,000 in profits. And look at the headline from last Thursday. What did I say? Time to hedge or rally on. If you chose the hedge part, folks, you are looking at nearly $13,000 in profit, and this weekly options trade up 89% right now, $4,000. Having an absolute blast. Why are we having a blast? Because this, man, we predicted this 5 weeks ago. Look at the headlines now. How Trump's attacks on Powell led to collapse of China trade talks. 5 weeks ago, ladies and gentlemen, when the president was walking out to a helicopter, to Marine One, and was pounding on the Fed. Jerome Powell's nuts. He needs to cut interest rates. He needs to engage in more QE, quantitative easing. Everybody was like, why is he doing this? The economy's smoking along. Jobs are good. The GDP are good. Earnings are good. Why was he doing this? What did I tell TGO members 5 weeks ago? Look at Peter Schiff. Look at CNBC. Look at Fox Business News in the past couple of days going, oh my gosh, were the president's attacks on the Fed? I called it a put. I said, ladies and gentlemen of Top Gun Options, he is going after the Fed because if the market tanks on him walking away from a China trade talk, the Fed's the boogeyman, the bad guy. Hey, I told the Fed to cut interest rates and to add some QE, and they didn't listen, and look what happened. So he can make the Fed the bad guy, and he can also do what? Make the Chinese the bad guy. Turns out that the Chinese saw him attacking the Fed 5 weeks ago and said, aha, he's weak. He all their macroeconomic data has to be lies, just like ours, but they have to be lying. Look, he's weak. He's pounding the Fed to cut interest rates and to engage in QE. So he's backed into a corner. Let's take the advantage here. And you know what the president said? You can kiss my ass, and done. He said, as of midnight tonight, folks, at 12:01 Friday, so at midnight tonight, Thursday, our time, he increases fire from 10% to 25%. And look at this, Chinese media today. So Li Hu, the president called him a good man, at the rally in the Florida Panhandle last night. He said, this guy's on an airplane. He's a good dude, but guess what? You can kiss my ass. At midnight tonight, we are increasing fire, and we are bringing one of the reasons the economy is doing so well, folks, is what? We're bringing in hundreds of billions of dollars that were not coming into our coffers before. For 40, 50 years, we've been getting screwed by the Chinese, and this president is actually taking the fight to them. This is going to get interesting, folks. And as you can see, we broke through an all-important moving average here. The 50-day moving average on the S&P 500 has been broken. If you're a TGO member, you know what I call in between the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average. What's it called? Say it with me. No man's land. They don't like staying in between these two things for too long. They're magnets. Either we're going to stay right around this 50-day moving average, or we're heading lower all the way down here to 27.75. If I had my pick, I think we're going lower. When the Chinese state media say there's zero chance of a trade deal, and the president's saying, hey, tomorrow the president could pull a rabbit out of his hat, right? He could say, you know what? You guys, we're friends again. I'm going to hold fire or not increase fire. Remember, we're currently shooting at them, right? 10%. He could say, I'm going to delay it a little bit, and we get a little bit of a relief rally off this 50-day moving average. I don't think that's going to happen. It is never too late to get long volatility. Look at this. I told people on Tuesday in our live trade brief, some folks said, hey, what do you think about volatility? I'm like, it's either going to hover or it has every possibility to potentially go higher. Let's take a look at the history of volatility. Look at the one-year history of the VIX here. Here's Jerome Powell ending capitalism on October 3rd. And we went all the way. Here's the December lows when Jerome Powell said, what? Everything I said in October is BS. And then the volatility imploded. Look at Volmageddon. Look at this all the way back here, folks, right? December, and then we absolutely imploded. So volatility can stay elevated or it can go higher. So look at this. The VIX is up here at 22 today. We topped out in December at the December bottoms all the way up here in the 30s, the mid-30s, folks. So volatility still has room to run. And this trade, once again, folks, look at this. Now it's down here at 2 cents. We got filled at 22 cents. It's down here at 2. What's 200 contracts times 20 cents? $4,000 profit on limited risk. Actually, let's take a look at what the limited risk was in that trade. So making $4,400, there it is right there, folks. The max risk in this trade this week was $5,600. If that volatility imploded, went to zero, that's the most you could possibly lose. But it looks like by tomorrow's close, this trade's going to make a maximum profit of $4,400. Love it. Absolutely having a blast here, Top Gun options. So obviously stocks are imploding amid the trade standoff. And I really got to stick it to some of the market idiots who said that the trade deal isn't even built into this rally. Meaning, so if the trade deal isn't built into this rally, if we get a deal or when we got a deal, they thought this thing was going to go higher? Okay, great. If the trade deal wasn't built into this rally, why are we imploding? Right? The converse has to be true. If it's not built in, well, if we don't get one, it's going to go down. And it did. We predicted this, folks. We do get, and here's the interesting stuff. Take a look at the macroeconomic data that came out today. So look at China last night. New loan supply. Oops, not good. Their inflation was looking pretty tight. But let's take a look at this. We got some inflation numbers. Little hot here. Our trade balance, okay. Weekly unemployment claims, let's skip. Wholesale inventories, a little bit of a beat there. Tomorrow's going to be interesting, folks. Take a look at what we're going to get. More inflation numbers and a couple Fed lieutenants. So I think I don't think things are going to calm down with this trade war. I think there's no way Lou gets off the airplane today, goes straight to the Oval Office, and the president says, hey, we got a deal. I don't think that's going to happen, folks. We are in for more volatility. We're going to talk about some of this stuff next week, like how Facebook's co-founder hopefully you watch this interview. The co-founder of Facebook said it is time to break it up. That's insane. This guy just said, I know he and Mark ain't exchanging Christmas cards, or actually, knowing those two, probably winter solstice cards. You can't say Christmas to them. So this guy absolutely put a torpedo into Facebook. I absolutely think Facebook should be broken up. One of these limousine liberal tech stocks that I warned you to get out of. Well, it didn't react too much, down 1%. But tomorrow, folks, I'm going to, like I said, I get back to Fort Lauderdale tonight. Tomorrow in Solo Friday, or Solo Amazon service, we're going to review our Amazon positions. Looking pretty good. We have a bull put spread that's still looking tight, even though Amazon broke through the 1900 level. Remember, 1900 level is kind of that magnet here, right? Amazon got drawn up to it and then went up to 2,000, back down to 1,900, up to 2,000, back down to 1,900. It's kind of a heart rate monitor here. So tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, it's going to be all Amazon all day, all night, man. If you're not in our solo Amazon service, we did... was it $2,800 last week in Amazon profits? All you need to do is head to go.topgunoptions.com/solo, and for only $97 a month or $897 a year, that's a 25% discount. You can get airborne in our newest live trade brief service. This thing's great, and this is our lowest cost service, only $97, folks. It's a little bit more expensive than our 7-day test flight. So give it a shot. I'll see everybody tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. This thing is getting interesting, man. I have a couple of coaching calls. Jeff, Amy, and Steve. I got you guys coming up here as I'm sitting here in LaGuardia, so I'll be seeing you on the on Go to Training. Other than that, I'll see many of you tomorrow for our solo Amazon at 1 o'clock Eastern. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless.